Mijn naam is Sagid and I'm sitting here with the one and only Kevin Parker.
Hi.
It's so nice to meet you. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
I must say, when I heard your new album was coming out, I was a little bit worried.
Okay.
Because
okay.
I heard you say in an interview that you need to feel worthless to be able to make music.
Oh, sure. I think worthless is probably a strong word.
Yeah.
Like a friend of mine read that as well. Was like, "Are you okay, Kevin?" You know.
Yeah.
But I just mean that as though, like, you know, just on, you know, like some days you feel on top of the world and some days you feel worthless. You know, you're just like, you know, it's just like one of those day-to-day emotions.
So what does the phase in between finishing the album and the release date, what is that phase like?
It's this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's actually kind of torture because I just have to wait until the album comes out, like, and I can't touch it. A few months ago, something terrible happened. Like the house that you rented, in which you were working for, on the album, burned down. Yeah.
You managed to grab your laptop, your Hofner. That was great.
Yep.
But I can imagine that must have had like a big impact on the album process.
It didn't really.
No?
It didn't really. I think a lot of people have made it more of a thing than it was for the album. It would have if I hadn't got my laptop.
Yeah.
It would have been a huge thing.
Yeah.
It would have been devastating. And what's funny is I didn't even I kind of just grabbed it as a safety measure. Like I didn't think the fire would come anywhere near the house. I just grabbed it. I grabbed my bass just as a kind of like as a joke to myself. Like your house is burning down. What do you grab?
That's what people always ask you. Like, what is the thing that you grab when your house burns down? And for you, it's
exactly.
the Hofner.
For me, it's the Hofner. Yeah. So I kind of just like, I'll grab it anyway. But I thought I'd be going back there in a few hours.
Yeah, because can you take me back to that moment? You were sleeping, right?
It was an Airbnb. It wasn't a place I was renting. I'd only been there. I was there for a week, like a month ago, and then like when the fire happened, I'd only been there for a night.
Right.
You know? But I woke up and like there was all smoke filling the skies, and I didn't really know what was going on. Like I was just in a daze. You know?
So climate change suddenly came very close.
I think it was kind of like just before the kind of the whole kind of conversation about bushfires being caused by climate change, because that was kind of the start of that whole season of like fires just really like ramping up and being another level to what they have been. So I think that was kind of the beginning of it. But it definitely has made the whole conversation about bushfires and climate change personal, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, speaking of the slow rush, it's like the most contradicting title ever.
Right.
It's
kind of a paradox. Is that what you mean? Like it's a...
Yeah, a paradox.
Oxymoron?
That's
the word?
I think that's the word. I'm not sure.
Yeah, one of the words.
Yeah. Can you explain the meaning behind the slow rush?
Well, for example, like just the whole idea of time to me is like a big slow rush. You know, like time is rushing, but if you actually stare at the clock, it's going really slow. You know, so that's kind of the most of it.
Yeah. Did you feel like you were in a rush? Because, I mean, a lot of people were waiting for a new album, and I feel like a lot of people were nagging you, like, Kevin, where's the next album? Yes. Yeah.
But I didn't think about that when I was thinking about the title. But I knew a lot of people would. You know, I was like, oh, everyone's going to say it's like me rushing very slowly to finish the album, you know.
And then also when it comes to your own albums, you you never collaborate with other artists on the album, on the albums. But these past couple years, you've been collaborating with a lot of artists, a lot of hip-hop artists as well, like Kanye West, Travis Scott, Theophilus London, A$AP Rocky, of course. Yep. How did those collaborations come about? Like, how did you guys meet? How did they find you, or how did you find them?
Well, I think it was all kind of different ways, but generally they just kind of got in touch.
With you?
Yeah.
How did it make you feel?
Oh, obviously pretty special. I mean, like A$AP Rocky, I've been a fan of, and Kanye, obviously.
Yeah.
fans for ages. I didn't actually really know that much about Travis Scott when he got in touch. So I was kind of learning about him as I was working with him.
Yeah.
But that ended up being like kind of one of my favorites, you know.
Do you feel, because you just mentioned superstars, I feel like when it comes to the genre that you're in, you're like on top of it. You're like one of the best. And then you're working with the best of like another genre. And to me, it felt like you just had the best artists coming together and creating even more magic. Is that how you feel? Or did it feel like you were working with superstars and not seeing yourself
Absolutely.
as one?
Yeah, no. I felt like, again, it's kind of how I wanted to feel. I just wanted to feel small. You know, I wanted to feel like a little fish.
You did?
In a big pond, yeah. I didn't, you know, like that's kind of natural with working with people of that magnitude anyway. You end up just,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, like they
And all
they all
egos
made me
have to
feel
leave.
special.
Yeah,
but-
and all egos have to leave the room.
Exactly,
I think, in order to
exactly.
make a, yeah, that's true. But I've always wondered who's your soundboard. Like, who do you go to when you're stuck?
I've got a guy.
Yeah?
I got a guy.
You get a guy. And then do you do something with the feedback?
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, that's kind of why it takes me so long to play anything to anyone, because as soon as I play it to another living soul, it stops being something that only exists in my own head. You know, like up until that moment, it's just like mine, and there is no other opinion in the world that has anything to do with it. And that's kind of my favorite time with a song, like, because usually when I start a song, I think it's the greatest song that's ever been written.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
You've got to.
That's how you're supposed to feel, yeah.
Like, I'll have the song on my headphones walking down the beach or whatever, just thinking like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah.
This is the greatest song of all time.
And then when you let someone
when
else...
I play it to someone else, they're like, hey, this is pretty cool. And it's like, okay, it didn't like make their brain explode.
Yeah. And then last question. I know your dad didn't really want you to pursue music because he was afraid that you would fall out of love with music. Was he wrong?
Obviously, he was dead wrong. But I don't think. I know. I think a lot of people think that he didn't want me to do it because he thought I would fail. You know, I think he was kind of just. It was more about keeping the magic. You know, I guess he just knew that because you know he was a lot older than me, like, and he believed that whatever you do for a job, it won't be as magical as it used to be because you have to start, you know, it's what you do to put food on the table.
Exactly,
you know?
yeah.
But yeah, he wasn't a recording artist, you know?
Yeah.
He didn't have the luxury that I have of being able to just find new things constantly. So, but he meant well. You know? He meant well.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
Thank you.